everybody, Cinema Sickness here with your daily sickness video, and happy Sunday to each and every one of you. Hope you guys are having a great weekend, possibly a long weekend. Some of you guys may have off tomorrow for Martin Luther King Day. Hopefully you do, and hopefully you're making the best of it. I know I am, and today I'm pretty excited to show you guys what I got, because this is all stuff I picked up yesterday while out hunting in the Allentown, Pennsylvania area. There was a store I wanted to hit up out there, and ended up hitting up a few stores actually. Ran out there with viewer Jeremy. You guys may remember him from last year's Blobfest videos I shot. He was there. We did a little hunting at the Blobfest, hung out at Blobfest, and he actually contacted me and said he wanted to go out and do some hunting, and figured this weekend would be perfect with Miss Sickness in California and Miss Sickness Jr. at the in-laws for the weekend. I have a lot of time to myself, and I figured perfect weekend to go out about an hour away from my house and do a little cinema hunting. And he came along and definitely found some cool stuff. It was a lot of fun. We'll definitely be hunting again in the near future, so stay tuned for that. Also, before you watch this video, if you haven't watched the video I posted right before this one, the actual cinema hunting video where I take you guys along with me and we check out all the stores I hit up and I show you guys all the stuff that was in the stores and everything I was seeing. If you haven't watched that video yet, stop this video, go watch that one, and then watch this video, because now we're going to take a look at everything I grabbed, going to go into further detail and discuss everything. So, all right, let's get down to it. So the first store we actually ended up hitting up was called Planet Games. Now, we had no plans on hitting this store up. It was actually the second store we hit up, which is the whole reason why we ran out there. So we're driving, and I told Jeremy, I'm like, keep your eyes open. If we see a pawn shop, thrift store, any cool store that looks interesting, we're going to stop there on the way out. And what's the first thing we saw? Planet Games, which we almost missed, but luckily they painted the store pretty brightly. It was pretty brightly colored, and as we're driving on the street, we looked down. We happened to see it, and I was like, "Oh, a game store! We got to check this place out." So we did a U-turn, checked it out, and ended up being pretty cool. A lot of neat stuff. Jeremy actually ended up picking up 2 games. I actually did not grab any games. Unfortunately, I had the issue of either anything I was interested in was a little bit out of my price range. You guys know me, I'm a bargain hunter. I only pay certain amounts of money for not just movies, but for games as well. So I didn't grab any Game Boy games, and also the fact that any games that were in my price range were games I already had. So I didn't pick up any Game Boy games, unfortunately, but I did grab something pretty cool, and that is X2 X-Men Unlimited on UMD Video. You guys know me, love collecting UMD videos, so definitely had to grab this. It was marked at $5.99. I said, would you take 5 for it? They said, that sounds good. So I got this for only $5, which, a little bit more than I would normally pay for a UMD video. I kind of like to play maybe around like $3 for a UMD video, but I wanted to support the store. I like independent stores. I fully support independent stores, so wanted to give my money to them, and whatever. I haven't picked up a UMD in a while, so I bought it. So $5 for this seemed like a good deal. Very cool to get X2 on UMD Video. And this, again, the store is really cool. Definitely check them out. You can go to planetgamespa.com. Very, very cool store. If you guys are ever in, they're in Emmaus, E-M-M-A-U-S, Emmaus, Pennsylvania. If you guys are ever in that area, check them out. Very cool store. And the lady running the store, actually, she all of a sudden goes, "Are you Cinema Sickness?" I was like, yeah, we got to talking and whatnot. So very cool. It's getting to the point now where I'm starting to get recognized, which is, it blows my mind that that's even a thing. I never thought it'd get to that point, but it's starting to. It's crazy. I can't believe it. So very cool, and again, great store. Definitely recommend checking them out. And fortunately, the only thing I grabbed, they did have an HD DVD player for the Xbox 360. I've always wanted to get one of those. I don't have an Xbox 360. I probably won't ever use it, but I think it's just really cool and just a fun collectible piece. I really want to get one someday. One of these days, I will get one of those just to, I don't know, display somewhere. They actually had it for a pretty good price. Maybe I should have grabbed it. I don't know, but I'll get one of those someday. It's pretty cool. Again, if you haven't seen the video, check it out. I showed it off in there. All right, so the second store we hit up was the entire reason why we were running out to the Allentown, Pennsylvania area, and that is for a video rental store called 48 Hours Video. Really excited to run out there because I haven't been to like a big rental store in a while. I go out to the one out by Herschel, Pennsylvania all the time, but that's a smaller little kind of independent mom and pop shop. Although this store is independent too, they do a few different locations, and it's a much bigger operation, much bigger store. So it was kind of like going to a Blockbuster or a Hollywood Video or like Movie Gallery or something like that. It was like going to a real old school rental store. So it was very, very cool, very awesome to hang out there. Unfortunately, once again, it was the issue of a lot of stuff being out of my price range. Again, I'm a bargain hunter, and I wasn't blown away by the prices. I was kind of hoping in my head, prices like other rental stores I sometimes go to are like Blockbuster or Hollywood Video, like decent prices. Their prices were a little high. Even stuff that's been out for like months and months and months now, they had priced a bit high. I was kind of taken back by that. So unfortunately, I didn't grab much. Jeremy and I, we both only grabbed one title each from the store. That was it. Definitely a bummer. It was a really cool store to look around in. Very cool to hunt there. Very cool to see some stuff. But unfortunately, just prices wasn't all that great. Some of the stuff that was priced okay was just stuff I already had. And there were two other titles that I was somewhat interested in and I probably would have picked up because I think they were like $2 or $3 a piece. They would have been pretty cheap, but the discs were scratched, so I had to pass on it. So they won, and only title I grabbed from the video store, the entire reason why we ran out to Allentown, Pennsylvania, the whole reason I drove an hour away from my house, the only title I ended up grabbing was Lake Placid versus Anaconda for $4, which, you know, okay price. I probably I'm sure I'll find this for cheaper or for $5 at some point, so wouldn't have made it wouldn't have made it worth it for the gas I spent, but regardless, I needed to get this, so here it is. Don't know much more to say about it than that. Definitely a title I wanted to pick up, so very cool to grab this. Unfortunately, this was the only title I grabbed from 48-hour videos, and like I said, Jeremy only grabbed one title as well, so we didn't really get very much. And they actually had a second store in the area, and when we got out there, that store was closed down. The sign was still up, but there was a big, like, you know, this space for rent and sign and stuff on the window. So that's the second store that we were going to go to didn't even exist anymore. But whatever, we at least got to hit up the one store, and at least I got something from there. So pretty cool, nevertheless, and just fun to run out to a rental store that I hadn't been to before. And who knows, if I'm ever out that way again, I'll stop in again. So anyway, all right. So since I was feeling kind of let down, because at this point, all I had picked up was a UMD video and one movie from a rental store, I was kind of bummed. I decided to get onto my phone, look at some thrift stores in the area, and sure enough, there were a few, and one of them being a Goodwill. So we ran out there, and I actually ended up picking up 3 titles from the Goodwill. They actually had a decent selection. So the first title I picked up for $3 was Music Man, or actually The Music Man. This is the Matthew Broderick version of The Music Man. I have never seen this version. This is the Walt Disney version. I've never seen it. I certainly know the original. I've never seen this version. Is it any good? You guys leave a copy. I've come across this a few times before. I've thought about grabbing it, and I never have. So for $3, in perfect condition, I figured, what the hell? I'm finally going to pick this up and check it out. But leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on that one. Then for $1, I grabbed Stargazers. 100 Years of the Lowell Observatory? Am I saying that right? Lowell. Anyway, very, very cool nevertheless. $1 for this, a Discovery Channel documentary. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. I love Discovery Channel documentaries, Learning Channel documentaries, History Channel documentaries, and so on and so forth, because on these stations, you just don't see much in the way of documentaries anymore. It's all reality TV, so when I come across one of these older documentaries, I always grab it for $1. Awesome find. Can't wait to check that out. And this, and Jeremy was making a little bit of fun for me for getting this, but I had to grab it anyway. Also for $1, we have Rod Stewart, Tonight He's Yours. So very cool. Sensational video footage recorded in concert at the Forum in Los Angeles. So featuring 3 of his hottest hits, including Do You Think I'm Sexy, Young Turks, and Passion. Combining Rod Stewart's raw emotion and rock and roll with stunning visual effects, electrify yourself with the best in musical entertainment. 1982 color, running time, yada yada yada. So some Rod Stewart live in concert. How can I not grab that? It's Rod Stewart. Look at that hair. It was a must buy. All right, so that was that. I still wanted to possibly hit up another store, and once again, went on my phone and figured we just hit up the. It was getting kind of late, so I figured we hit up the next thrift store that was in the area. And it ended up being a video store called thrift store called Via, I think just Via Thrift Store. So we had never heard of it. We had no idea what Via Thrift Store was, and ran out there. And at first we were kind of thinking, okay, that was a waste of time, because we went into like their main store and there was nothing, and there was just clothes and knickknacks and all kinds of crap. But luckily they had a store next door, and that was their bookstore, which of course held all kinds of media. And that's where I scored pretty big and found some awesome stuff. A nice big pile of goodies here for dirt cheap. Very awesome. So I grabbed a bunch of VHS tapes here, all for 50 cents a piece. Such a good deal. So the first thing I picked up here was Sabotage. Never seen this one. It looked very interesting. You guys can let me know about this movie. Is it any good? It's 50 cents. I grabbed it. This is cool. We have They Might Be Giants video compilation. Very cool. Put your head inside the puppet head. Don't Let's Start. She was a hotel detective. Anna and G, they'll need a crane and purple toupee. Yeah, purple toupee. I don't know. They Might Be Giants. I grabbed it. Very cool. Now, these are pretty neat since, unfortunately, Dan Haggerty just passed away. It was kind of cool to come across these. I didn't have these movies yet. I picked them up. We have The Capture of Grizzly Adams and Spirits of the Eagle. I had to pick both these up. I really wanted to see them. I don't really have much in the way of any Dan Haggerty movies, so I didn't have these yet. I had to grab them. I love that it stars Ben. That's cool. So, yeah, I didn't have these ones yet. I figured I'd pick them up. I'd check them out at 50 cents a piece. Very cool. In fact, the VHS were actually cheaper than that. They were 3 for $1, actually, so even better. This is definitely the coolest find, probably, well, or at least one of the coolest finds of this trip. I was blown away by this, and that is SWAT Cats, Deadly Dr. Viper. 2 action-packed episodes. Oh my god, I love the SWAT Cats. This was such a good show. I watched this all the time when I was a kid. And unfortunately, the only DVD release of this currently is put out by the Warner Archives program, and it's just way too expensive, a lot more than I am willing to pay for the entire series release. I really want it. I hopefully will get it maybe someday. I don't know, but for now, this was definitely a must-buy. I was blown away by this. Couldn't believe I found this. So excited. This is something I'm very excited about having in my collection. Then I grabbed some Roger Ramjet, and looks like we have The Adventures of and The Return of. Very cool. Great cartoon series. 50 cents a piece. I had to grab those. And then this I've never seen, but it's part of the video for kids releases, and I tend to like them. I kind of like the artwork for these. They're very, it's simple artwork, but it's interesting. And this is the Pogo Special Birthday Special. Anybody know anything about this at all? I have no idea what this is. This is a complete mystery to me. If you guys have seen this, if you know anything about this, leave me a comment, because this is a mystery, and I probably wouldn't have grabbed it other than the fact that it's a video for kids release. For that reason, I picked it up. I was intrigued. I grabbed it. So like I said, those were all 3 for $1. So a really good deal. I could have grabbed one more for free, basically, but there wasn't anything else I wanted, so I didn't. But great prices there. And then we have some DVDs, which I believe I paid... I don't think how much I paid for these. I think these were like $2 a piece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I think these were $2 a piece. So first thing I grabbed here was Optigrab. Am I saying that correctly? Which apparently is a snowboarding video, which is very cool. And like I said, I like extreme sports. I enjoy watching extreme sports videos. This looked pretty cool. I grabbed it. Now this I grabbed really because it came with a slipcover, which is a ridiculous reason to grab it. That's why I grabbed it. And that is Disney's The Wild. I actually used to have just this, and I do have it on Blu-ray, and I got rid of my just standard copy because the Blu-ray art was exactly the same. But I came across a copy with the slipcover, and even though I'm not a fan of slipcovers, especially not when they look exactly the same, it makes absolutely no sense to me, as I said before. I'm a sucker for Disney slipcovers, so I picked it up. $2. I grabbed it just for the slip, but pretty cool. This is neat. This is I Love Trains Parts 1, 2, and 3. So this is interesting. I've seen these before. What it is like model train videos for kids, but I love trains. I love model trains. This was just neat. These aren't cheap. Look at that. $25. I see these all the time when I'm out in like the Stroudsburg area and I hit up all the railroad museums and stuff out there. I see these all the time, and they're always really expensive. So I'm certainly not going to pay $25 for this, but for $2, I was definitely going to pick it up. So pretty cool. Again, these are for kids, but I enjoy watching them, and I'm going to enjoy watching this with Cinema Cyclist Jr. because hopefully they'll get him in the trains as well. So very, very cool. And then 2 titles here, both factory sealed First one we have is Oliver. That's awesome because the only other copy of Oliver I have is a Region 2 release. So very cool to actually get an American release, a Region 1 release of Oliver. That is awesome. Very excited about that. Again, factory sealed, never opened. And apparently it was $10 at one point, but I grabbed it for $2. Not bad. And also factory sealed this. I'd say between this and SWAT Cats, definitely the two coolest finds of the day. And we have Silent Movie. I never see this. This is an okay Mel Brooks film. I gotta say, this isn't one of my favorite Mel Brooks movies. You know, it's just okay. But nevertheless, I don't ever come across Silent Movie on any format, really. It's not something I see, especially not on DVD. This has been on my wish list for the longest time now. I never see it, and I finally came across it. $2, factory sealed. Oh my God. Again, it's the situation of just diving on top of it. I was so excited when I saw this. I was blown away by the fact I came across Silent Movie, factory sealed for $2. That was an awesome find. Very cool. Again, this is SWAT Cats, my two favorite finds of the hunt. So very, very cool. All right, guys, so there you go. That was it. So lots of cool stuff. Definitely an absolutely fantastic day yesterday of hunting. Again, it didn't quite pan out the way I expected. I was expecting to spend like a boatload of money. I brought like all this cash with me. I was expecting to spend a lot of money at 48 Hours Video, the rental store. I was expecting to spend a lot of money out there, thinking prices were going to kind of be like what they are at other rental stores. And I knew it was a big store, so I thought they're going to have lots to buy. And they did have lots to buy, lots of stuff for sale. But unfortunately, just the prices weren't very good, and that's why I ended up buying only one title. And so that's why Jeremy only ended up buying one title as well, because the prices just weren't very good. It is what it is. But even though it didn't pan out, I found a new cool game store. That was awesome. You know, made friends with the owners of the store and whatnot. So that was really, really cool, and definitely looking forward to maybe hitting that store up again. And again, the Via Thrift store definitely paid off. If I'm ever in that area again, I will most certainly be hitting up that store because they had some fantastic movies for some fantastic prices. And I found some good stuff at the Goodwill as well, which is always a plus. So, all right, guys, that is it. So, again, if you haven't checked out the video I posted right before this one, the actual hunting video, where I took you guys with me along to all these stores and showed you guys what was there, and you guys went out hunting and I narrated it, check that video out. You can also check out to see what Jeremy picked up. At the end of that video, I do show it with the few titles that Jeremy grabbed. He's a lot more pickier than I am, which is great, because he's a good person to go hunting with, because you know me, I'm grabbing all kinds of stuff. He's a lot more picky. So the odds of us fighting over a title, finding something, oh, we both want this, are kind of slim. So that's really cool. So definitely a good guy to go hunting with, because I don't have to worry about, getting in a fight over who's going to get to buy that cheap, cool movie we found. It's probably not going to happen. So I definitely enjoy hunting with him. I will be doing that again. So if you want to see what he picked up, and you haven't seen that video yet, definitely check it out. So, all right, guys, again, that is it. So like I always say, thank you guys so much for checking this video out. Be sure to hit that like button down below. Also, hit that subscribe button if you want to see a brand new video from me every single day, plus other bonus videos like hunting videos and whatnot sprinkled in here and there for your extra added enjoyment. Also, if you want to pick up yourself a Cinema Sickness t-shirt, some other cool Cinema Sickness gear, head over to cinemasickness.spreadshirt.com where you can get yourself some of that. And also, if you want to see more videos like this coming out, head over to patreon.com/cinemasickness. Become a patron, show your support, and keep new content coming out. So, all right, guys, again, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one, and I'll see you all tomorrow, Martin Luther King Day. See you then. Bye.